Hi, my name is Ralph, and this is my wife,
Lynn.
Lynn, and we are thrilled to tell you that we came from Southern California in the San Diego area just almost a year ago now. And to give you a little bit of background, my background was in marketing in the U.S. for Fortune 500 firms where I was an executive. I was also a professor at the university, and I was in real estate for 15 years. So that gave me some advantage in knowing something about real estate, even though I know it was radically different here in terms of how they do real estate. Um, but we came to Italy because we wanted to retire and in a place where we'd have a great standard of living, at least comparable to what we were experiencing in California, and also because we wanted excitement for the rest of our life. Uh, I have traveled through all 50 states. Lynn has traveled through many places in the United States, and we wanted an adventure. We knew that coming to Italy, if nothing else, learning the language would be a tremendous adventure in and of itself. But we also knew that there would be many, many travel opportunities. It's so easy to get around with trains, and everything is close. And there's so much history that we haven't seen and experienced here, and experiencing the culture, which would be totally different. So we looked at it as a long-term learning experience where we could see new things, new people, learn to speak Italian, and have an exciting life for the rest of our life. Do you want to add to that?
No, that's pretty much covers it.
That's at least what got us here to begin with. In terms of the mechanics, we first were looking at a city called Viterbo, which is a medieval city, stone walls, and it's a lot of gray in the buildings and everything, cobblestone streets. And we were kind of in love with the romance of this medieval city. But as we stayed there for, I think it was 8 days or something like that, we realized that this really probably wasn't the best fit for us. Because for one thing, it was all gray, and that wasn't good, not enough trees, places to go. It was inside the city. You could go to, interesting shops and things like that, but it was crowded with exhaust and, like I said, no trees or greenery or beaches or anything like that. Well, we happened upon an advertisement that was made by NAMA, by Mary and Antonio, and it talked about this beautiful place in San Vincenzo. So we thought, well, maybe we should not be so myopic. Maybe we ought to check this place out. So we left Viterbo. We were almost ready to sign the papers. We left Viterbo. We came to San Vincenzo. The place we had seen in the ad, we ended up not liking, but we fell in love with the professionalism of NAMA real estate. And since I had been in real estate for 15 years in the United States, I was in a good position to know what separated a good realtor from a not so good
Let me
realtor.
interject. We also fell in love with San Vincenzo.
Oh, I was getting to that.
Okay.
So in any case, we fell in love with the realtors as professionals that we wanted to use. So even though we didn't like the first house we were shown, we asked them to show us other properties. And within a span of 5 days, five days only, we ended up they found for us a place that we were thrilled to buy and that will be our home for the rest of our lives. And we absolutely love, love, love San Vincenzo. We've been here, we're getting close to being here a year now.
Getting close.
And I didn't speak a word of Italian when we got here, and Lynn didn't speak much either. Well, she
now
didn't.
You speak 2 words, and
now I
speak
speak
3.
2. She studies about 3 times as much as I, and she speaks about 5 times as much as I. But the thing is, we're getting through those challenges, and it's kind of exciting. But we're learning more and more Italian. But one of the things that I think we both love about San Vincenzo, maybe me more so than her, I love having two seasons essentially. You have a summer season where it's packed because it's a tourist destination. It's a marina, and they have, I think, 40 or 50,000 people that come into San Vincenzo, and it's exciting. The beaches are pretty crowded.
Beautiful beaches.
There are 19 beaches, I counted them, and the beaches come right up next to a nature reserve. It's incredible. They even have wild boar. I've never seen one running through there, but they are gorgeous with the high trees and everything. The other thing is the quality of the beaches in San Vincenzo are what are called blue flag beaches in Italy, and they're the highest rated beaches in terms of water purity and quality. And there are other ratings on the beaches as well, I learned, like green flag and other things that have to do with the safety of the beaches, being good for families and that sort of thing. So you have 19 beaches in San Vincenzo extending, what is it, about 8 or 10 kilometers?
And San Vincenzo is nestled into the beautiful, beautiful Tuscan countryside, the hillsides, just gorgeous. We look out our window in the morning and just can't believe that is in front of us. It's so, so beautiful.
We can see the Mare, the Mediterranean Sea from where we live. We can see the Tuscan countryside that Lynn just talked about. We can even hear some cows mooing in the distance. So,
and the culture here, maybe because it's a small town, maybe because it's Tuscany, maybe because we're just very lucky, but it's like stepping back in time, where people are people, and the conversations that you have with the person who owns the fish store and the people who own the hardware store and the dentist, everyone, it's like you are a person and they are a person. It's hard to explain, but it makes you feel very, very special, and it's really a dream. It is living the dream. It really is.
In the winter, as that was the other half, the other season, in the winter, there are only about 7,000 or so people in this small città, or paese. Town, città is city, paese is town. And what I love are the little interactions that you have with these people that Lynn was talking about, walking back to our casa, our little house, and we'll stop in. There's one place I like to go because they have the best cheese. And I go in and they know who I am. Because
it's a little tiny corner grocery store. It's very, very small.
Yeah.
And there's no advertising. You don't see any brand names in there. It's just like you walk back in history.
Just fruits and vegetables all out in the front. You go in there and they know who you are, and you say, oh, how much of your cheese do you want? And they cut it for you. And it's just like that everywhere. Even going to a larger grocery store, you get to know the people there. And that gives you such a good feeling to be part of a community. When we were back in San Diego, sure, we would know a few people, but it's not like this where you feel such a part of the community. And it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of NAMA real estate, again, having come from real estate in the United States, I was a good judge of what they would do well and what they wouldn't do well. And I can say they've been so professional all the way through. When we came here, there were two professionals I knew that we needed to have to do a good job. One is to get a very good attorney for immigration and also for real estate. Of course, that lends into taxes as well, but an attorney and a good realtor. Keeping in mind that we were in San Diego at the time, our house wasn't even finished, it was under construction. So we needed to have a lot of dialogue in order to make this happen. It was, first of all, it was good that the people at NAMA, some of them speak very good English. And since I didn't speak very good Italian, it helped me with the coordination of what needed to happen with our new home. And then secondly, we had so many issues, as you would with building a new home, with all the permits and all the paperwork that had to happen. They professionally handled all of it.
Even connecting with the gas, initiating the gas and the electricity and all of the
Everything.
things that we needed help with.
Everything.
Really,
and
really
they made
helped
it so easy. There were times where we didn't know how to get the money transferred. Well, we knew, of course, to wire it, but there were times where they would help us through the process just to make sure that it was a very easy way to buy a home in San Vincenzo. And one other thing I want to point out is there were, even after we purchased the home, they continued, of course, to be our friends and still have helped us with other things that have been vital to us living here. And the one thing that sticks out in my mind is we needed to get a bank account. That's not easy if you don't have residency. So what they did was they introduced us to a bank that would help us have a local bank account, which
not just the bank, to the person who works at the bank,
Oh,
the
yeah.
bank
Oh, yeah.
representative, who's become a friend as well.
Yes, he's a very good friend too.
And also installing all of the TV and all of that stuff, and he's become a close friend.
He's becoming a really good friend. Now he owns a restaurant, and he invited us to his restaurant for Christmas dinner.
We spent Christmas with his family at our house.
His whole family came to our house for Christmas, and we spent the entire day at our house and then going out afterwards
and
with
the parents of the realtors also are good
friends. And we do a lot of things with the parents of our realtors. So that's the way a small community works. And we feel we've gotten an excellent home, excellent quality, with excellent base of people, and a place that's beautiful that we absolutely love. So I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I would just say two things at the end of that to kind of sum it up. We have the excitement, the adventure, and we also have the support and the security of having people who have our backs. So
I want to add one more thing.
No, I'm kidding.
This year, and I was looking forward to it before we came here, I've read a lot about Christmas markets. I love Christmas. So we thought, wouldn't it be fun to make our first little vacation in Italy, aside from little side trips to Florence and places like that, but to make our first little vacation in Italy, to go up into the mountainous area in the Dolomites where the Christmas villages are. It's up next to Austria. And so we went there for a week trip, and it was magical.
Yes, and let's not discount Firenze. Firenze has, Firenze is Firenze. You hop on a train and you're there in 2 hours.
We've been there three times, 4 times.
It's so easy to go to Pisa, Pietrasanta Carrara, all of those.
The trains are so easy to use.
It's just a piece of cake. Yeah. So it's a different lifestyle that's very enjoyable.
So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to anyone that watches this tape. And you can reach us through the realtors. We'd be happy to talk more.